Get that audio check out the way. Sorry to keep you waiting. I've been road raging. Oh my God, it's hot outside. I had 3 AC units removed from the windows of 3 of my buildings last night. Completely disassembled, cleaned, made to look brand new again. Filters all cleaned, and they were still outside drying overnight. I had to run some errands today, and today it feels like the gates of hell have opened on Texas. Yeah, so I got somebody to hurry up and installing those ACs. Yeah, it's hot. It's hot today. Scorcher, especially with the humidity. All right. Krusty Molek. What the hell made you do a handle like that? Krusty Molek. So this would be Krusty the Clown and Molek the Baby Burner. That's crazy. I would want a different handle. That is so crazy. So yeah, I got a lot on my plate. I've been it seems like the more I have to do, the more I get done. Yes, and it's just weird. I recently went through one of my static days. I have a chart on my life, and the static days I know my static days. It's so crazy because when those days come up, I really do feel like, man, you know what? It's no sense trying to get a lot done today because I'm not going to get anything done no matter how much I try. It's going to waste my energy. Today's a Netflix and chill day. And then I actually enjoy myself. I'll sit there and read a book all day. Netflix will play in the background, and even on my static days, I kind of get things done because I have to read these books in order to do videos on them. But on my power days, and on my calendar, I'll mark my little power days. My power days show, man. You never can't. It's just, I just wake up on those days. It's like, damn, man, this is one of those days I know I'm gonna get a lot done, and I don't even try. I make no effort, and then by noon, I've already knocked out half a to-do list. I'll tell you guys need to use PSYFR to find this out for yourselves. And it's so easy to find out. It doesn't take but a 2 or 3 week period to realize what days are really good for you and what days are not. Because there's an ebb and flow to reality, and there's never both at the same time. It's impossible. We live in a fluid medium, and either the arithmetic that governs our life is flowing in a direction that we're going to go on with the current, meaning it takes a little bit of effort just to do anything. We get things done, or we're on one of those. We're moving in a trajectory, but it seems like the numbers are moving against us. And then I'm telling you, all you have to do is plot out 2 or 3 weeks of your life on a calendar, and all you have to do is put an X on a date that you say, man, today wasn't a good day for me. Today was a day that just wasn't flowing. It seemed like things weren't really working out, or something bad happened, or even my attitude and my energy was down on this day. Man, X that day. Put an X on your calendar. I'm telling you, you're going to want to know this material the more you mess with PSYFR. And put a little circle at the bottom when it was a day when, damn, man, things kind of did go well for me. If it was more positive than negative, put an O. If it was more negative than positive, put an X. After 2 or 3 weeks, you can run algorithms on that, and you can act on those O days, on the days where you feel that nature may be moving with you, and it empowers that. And the more you use PSYFR to interface with the system that you're now documenting, the more powerful the system becomes for you. And then it becomes a feedback loop, but it's not a feedback loop of negative default programming, wherein you are now stuck in a feedback loop of dungeon programming, where you have reacted to the external stimuli of your environment, and now it got you caught in this cycle of reaction. Every time a certain stimuli happens, you react. You're just like the public. You're no different. And I'm not being accusatory. We all do this. Every one of us do this. We fall back. We lapse back into the collective programming all the time. But you can develop for yourself a system real fast where you know. And then Then by employing the system and using PSYFR and plotting future dates where PSYFR shows you that nature's going to be moving with you, man, those are the dates you take action. Those are the dates you do things that you've planned to do, that you've been holding back on. Those are the dates where the energy is in the field for you to maximize your potential in any direction you're trying to go. You need to do that for yourself. I'm telling you, it's a game changer. It's a game changer. Yeah, Kevin, you got to keep that calendar. And the more you keep a calendar, you'll start taking notes too, and start putting one-liners like, oh, okay, it wasn't just an O day. It was an O day where, damn, if you're single, it might have been a day where, the past 3 or 4 weeks, you haven't had a single conversation with a potential date. But all of a sudden on one day, not even looking, it's not even on your mind because you got other things going on. Next thing you know, you're in a grocery store. You strike up a conversation that seems to be innocuous, and bam, you just found somebody who was interested in dating. And then 2 hours later, you're at a hardware store, the one place you would never expect to find, somebody that you would end up, dating or at least befriending with that idea in mind. You meet them in a hardware store. And then when you're reeling from the coincidence, like, damn, in the last 2 hours, I just had two amazing conversations and exchanged contact information and wasn't even looking out for it. And while you're thinking about it, you go home and fill your gas tank up, and the girl next to you in the next car strikes up a conversation with you without you even taking the initiative. And next thing you know, you two are engaged. You find out you're local to each other, and you know what? You set up a coffee date. That's a day you write down. And there's nothing miraculous about it. It's the energy is in the field on that day, and you're out there in the public doing your thing. Because it's not even on your mind, you become a neutral field. Because you're the neutral field, what is powerfully on other people's mind. If you're a guy, it happens to be 3 females. 3 different females. They don't know each other. They don't know you, but it's on their mind, and it happens to be an O date for them too. This is how it works. This is how all life works. We never recognize it. PSYFR is a tool to not only help us document these negative and these positive days, but to actually plot our life to where we gain significant advantage from knowing on which days we need to be out there in the field and not cooped up at home doing nothing. Yeah, all potential lies in movement. Stasis is death. Damn, we started this video strong, didn't we? I was ranting about road raging and traffic and all that. Krusty said, long story. Yeah, I don't even want to hear that story, bro. That's a crazy name. Krusty, you had 7 of those days? Are those negative days or positive days? Who was it? Is it somebody in the chat here? Who was it was just recently telling me in an email when I did the predictions for them? I did a Office predictions for them in the past, and it had something to do with their golf. They're a golfer. They're not watching people play golf. They're out there playing golf. And I gave them some dates that needs to watch out for in the future where things look very significantly positive for him. And on the second date that I provided, he won second or third place in a golf tournament. I thought that was pretty interesting. But that happens all the time. Happens all the time. Let's see. All right. I'm pretty sure a lot of people bailed because I was so late, but they'll come back and watch it. They'll come back. I'm not worried about it. Oh, negative, lethargic. I get it. Yeah, man. It's these 5G towers nationwide. They only activate them when most of the population is asleep. They seem to be activated the most, not at the same time, but per time zone. Yeah, those 5G towers are something else. They're weapons. They're absolute 100% set up as a weapon. I believe they have multiple purposes. 5G has never increased anything on my phone. 4G works really good on my phone, very high speed, fast. 5G didn't do nothing but put me in the hospital with radiation poisoning. I'm still convinced of that. YouTube took the video down. But I had not had that new 5G S20 Ultra. I had not had that new Android phone, not even 5 or 6 days, and I was in the hospital with radiation poisoning for 13 days. So, yeah, I'm convinced that 5G is set up by our controllers. It's a weapon, but one of the main purposes it has is because it's literally activating all kinds of negative stuff in people's systems that makes it conducive for cancer and all kinds of ailments. Yeah, it's the only ones that gain. The only ones that gain, you got to follow the money. From the 5G towers being set up, the only ones that gain are the pharmaceutical companies because of all the people are getting sick. All the hospitals because of all the people are getting sick. They're the only ones that gain. Jason got my job start date, which was so awesome. I was an interviewing machine. That's awesome. That's great. Yeah, this is when you're dealing with a Jason, can you get us a link for your glasses? I've got like 7 or 8 pairs of these. I don't know why Amazon keeps doing this, but I'll give you an example. Here we are. This is what it looks like with really good blue block shielding. The reason you see so much blue is because I don't. It's all reflected out. Now, this is what it looks like with just regular prescription reading glasses. These aren't just reading glasses. These are my exact prescription. Totally different, but I've got no protection on my eyes. None at all. And if with 3 screens, a tablet, and my phone, and my lifestyle has pretty much gone from contractor to content creator, I need the protection. I'm going to tell you now, I will find the link for you. But these are Amazon. These are from Amazon, and it's really frustrating because sometimes Amazon does not sell them. And then when they do, they restrict you. You're only allowed to buy 2 pairs at a time. So I'll buy 2, I'll wait a day, buy 2 more, wait a day, buy 2 more. I've lost a bunch of these. But I've got about 8 pairs, 7 or 8 pairs right now. But they just come and go. I don't know why, but I'll find the link. I'll find the link. But I do know this. You have to look up rimless. They have a frameless. No, it's called rimless. Yeah, rimless blue blocker reading glasses. That's what you need to look, because these are not prescription. These are just rimless because they have no frame. It's just a nose piece. You'll find them on Amazon. Look hard enough. Rimless blue blocker. You may have to put round in there too, because I did specify I didn't like the normal glasses. I wanted them round. A lot of people ask me about those glasses. So yeah, it's vitally important. It's vitally important that you start keeping. You don't have to keep a journal. Just keep a wall calendar. Pay 12 lousy bucks. Get a cheap office wall calendar and just start marking. You know, if you put an X, man, you know, just you can even rate them. You can create your own system. You can put an X for a day that just was static. Nothing really good happened. Nothing really bad. Put an X. You can put an XX for a day that was negative and almost no positive happened. You can put a triple X for a day that was just foobar and there's nothing good about it. Terrible day. So you can go X, double X, triple X. And you can go O, double O, and triple O for a rating system for days that were good. And you can do one-liners. It's not a lot of work. It's not a lot of homework, but the advantage to you personally is going to be amazing. You're going to have a springboard now, you know, to base your stuff off of. So if you are a gambler, if you are doing crypto deals, then you'll at least be able to know, okay, cool. I want to mess with PSYFR on some games. But according to I've been plotting my life for a month now, and I've been running PSYFR on all these positive days. And what's really interesting is that When I run Cypher on the negative days, I can create my own system. Here's all the positives. Here's all the negatives. Anytime negatives line up with positives, cancel out. Because remember, even in arithmetic, they're going to cancel each other out. It's an excellent way of mapping your own personal future to find out the rhythm of each day and how it's going, because we live in a mathematical construct and it's always going to ebb and flow. You need to find your flow dates. And the best way to do it is to use Cypher on the positive dates, map them out for the next 2 weeks. Use Cypher on the negative days, map them out for the next 2 weeks. Any dates that have the same number of hits for positive and negative, you go ahead and neutralize those dates, because you live those dates all the time. They're ordinary days where nothing really bad happens, nothing really good happens. It's totally neutraled out. But you're going to be left with good days and you're going to be left with bad days, and those are the ones you pay attention to. If you want to run Cypher on the markets, those are the days you do it. That's when nature's moving with you. So, yeah, I can't explain it better than that. Oh yeah, it's a big difference in the reflection. Yeah, the reason you guys see so much blue is because these are armor for my eyes. They are armor for my eyes, man. No headaches. You don't get all that blue light headaches from looking at screens for a long time and all that. None of that. Yeah, you're right, Elizabeth Miller. Paper and calendars are almost free. Different companies just give them away. You're absolutely correct. So who's first? Who's got me 2, 3, 4, 5 dates? They want to run Cypher on. Let's look and see what we can plot. Who's got them? Because that's all we're really going to do today. I'm going to run a bunch of predictions for y'all. See what we see. I haven't seen any dates dropped yet. But let's go ahead and do it. Come on, Jess. Don't tell me, show me. Yeah, man. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put 8/23 in there since you're already dropping them. August 23rd. $2,003? No way. Oh, you said oops. Yeah. 2023. Get those dates ready. You got anything you wanna run? Oh, Michael Masek beat you to it. 731.86. 731 and 86. All right, those are both this year. 731. Michael May said, Keith pays me to work on radio stations. How? What does that mean? I don't understand, Michael. You know what it means. I'm just going to run the prediction. I'm going to share my screen. I'll get back to you in a minute, Jess. All right, I'm going to share my screen so you guys can see what I'm seeing. All right. So, I'm assuming this is a personal prediction. So, going to have to add Protocol Prime. So, it's already added. We're looking at something pretty interesting here. High concentrations of very big output, very local to us. Look at tomorrow's date, August 8th at the top. Set July 31st, August 6th, which was yesterday, and August 7th. Now, you can see when we remove Protocol Prime, August 7th is still a day. That's today. But August 8th is not there anymore. August 9th is. August 10th, 12th, and 15th. But that's only because these dates are so close together. These dates here are 6 days apart. Protocol Prime is only 1 day apart. Add Prime back. So I've added Protocol Prime back. That's the day we run the prediction. So this is what makes the mathematical formula that you've documented as events that are specific to you in your past. Protocol Prime basically personalizes the prediction through you and shows here that August 8th, tomorrow's date would be very important for whatever July 31st and August 6th mean for you. Followed by a very strong, a lot of algorithms are also hitting on August 9th, followed by 3 on August 10th, and then 2 on August 11th. So it seems that tomorrow is something major, a major development that continues, although in its continuance, it begins to wane after 4 days of how. But then, I mean, even that's not true, because on the 5th day, it's a spike all the way back. It's a lot of algorithmic hits right there. August 12th. Then it peters out. Totally peters out. So what does that mean to you? Did you answer that? Let's see. How long will this go on? Michael Macy, how long will this go on? Well, so far, you only have 2 dates with Protocol Prime being the 3rd date. So you're looking to the something looks like it continues to the 15th. Yeah. There may be a cessation or a hiatus or a dip in whatever we're measuring here around the 10th, but it seems to resurrect strong on the 12th, and on the 15th there's a burp, and then it fades out. Whatever we're talking about, whatever we're measuring. But you have to understand, you can't take this prediction as a solid reference point of how the future is going to unfold, for the simple fact is every new measured event creates a new prediction. What I mean is August 8th is tomorrow. If there's a significant development tomorrow on August 8th that relates to July 31st and August 6th right here, then you have to redo the entire prediction, because the arithmetic has now incorporated a whole new data point, which is August 8th. So now it's July 31st. It's now August 6th. Check it out. This is I'm glad we did this, because this is something new. It's now July 31st, August 6th, and August 8th, because Protocol Prime has no value in the future predictions. As far as August 7th being Protocol Prime, it's only valuable for the day of the prediction. So if you have to add August 8th because something significant developed, then August 7th is no longer important to you. It must be eliminated from any future consideration. Because now when you run a prediction on August 8th, tomorrow, it's going to be July 31st, it's going to be August 6th, and it's going to be August 8th. And that's fundamentally going to change the rest of these dates. These aren't going to be true anymore. The construct changes. Protocol Prime allows you to be right there at the center of change each time. The future is going to change. It's going to shift. It's like a Mandelbrot set. All you have to do is add one little detail, the pattern changes. I hope you understand what I mean here. But it is, yeah, you're right, Lala Kelly. It is a new rule. It is something we should have covered in the past. Yeah, once Protocol Prime is used on a date for a prediction, if there's ever a significant date added to that predictions list, whatever you use for Protocol Prime before is no longer value, because it's no longer that date. Protocol Prime is only the date the prediction is made. So yes, it's going to change. This is why no two predictions will be the same between two people. They're just not. because you're going to end up incorporating totally different dates from different phenomena that unfold in your life, which means the two different people measuring their lives are going to end up using two different protocol prime dates. And then even if they both started with July 31st and they both started with August 6th, because they have different protocol prime dates, their future predictions charts will look totally different. So yeah, that's why this is a continual build. It's always a continual build. Yes, Jasmine. You're always, yeah. Protocol prime is never a fixed because it's nothing. It's nothing but the date that you ran the prediction. That's it. It's only important because you interfaced with the that mathematical structure unfolding in your life. But it has no meaning whatsoever 3 days in the future when all of a sudden something happens that was on the chart. It's like, damn, I charted that. It's a small hit. It's only a 1 on the PSYFR chart, but it's still one of the predicted dates that I was supposed to watch out for. And something minor did happen. That now becomes a part of whatever you're measuring. And because you're incorporating the new date, protocol prime is no longer of value, because when you run another prediction, it's going to be July 31st, August 6th, and that date, the new date, which is 3 days, the new date that you just discovered that something happened. So when you discover that happened, later on, maybe 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, you run another prediction. When you run that other prediction, incorporating the new date that unfolded as it was supposed to, that's your new protocol prime when you run that new prediction. This is why it doesn't matter if you and I start with the same 5 dates. Yeah, every one of us can start with the same 5 dates. Every one of us. And after about 2 weeks, every one of our charts are going to look completely effing different. There's no way that they'll remain the same, because we have multiple different variables all unfolding in our lives that are specific to us and have nothing to do with anybody else that's listening to me right now. So yes, it is, Jonathan Rogers. Protocol prime is the pebble getting dropped in the pond. That's what it is. Absolutely. Now, this is a on your calendars when you do the wall charts. It would be interesting if you were to put a PP on each date that was served you as a protocol prime. After a while, you may want to run PSYFR on the protocol prime dates. You might be really surprised about what you see. Yeah, everybody listening to me should have a wall calendar or one of these. Should have a. They're cheap. They're cheap, but everybody should have one of these. Little book, a little book where you keep your journal and you number all the pages and goes down. Mine's real nice. Old Mariner stuff. But I got a whole bunch of these. I got more back here. I keep them. Hell, I lose them all the time. Then I refine them. But they sell these in bookstores everywhere. They're just totally empty with a bunch of lines, and you just dialogue. You just keep your your deals. You got different people's names on there, people that you interface with, and you keep the dates and you keep your journal. And listen, you will make many discoveries about your life. You can run PSYFR on your family members for them. You can go, man. There's no end to the things you can really do for. Remember, from the very beginning, this was only for personal and professional predictions. I only got interested in sports way later. Let's see. Catch up with the chat real quick. Okay, let me check out Jess now. That was Michael Masek. Jess, what do you got? Man, you went back. August 2003. I'm still going to run it, but man, those are far apart, man. It's August. I got to click this thing down 17, 18 times to get down to 03. All right, August. Wait a minute. How is this a date? August 03. What day? Jess, you need to be what is 08, 2003, 05, 2008, and 05, 2015? Yeah, I don't understand that. There's no day here. These are just months and years. Maybe move down. Maybe he explained himself later. Okay, I'll explain the next time I see you at the event. Oh, you don't have the exact dates. Okay. Okay, I get it. I get it. Yeah. So if you want to know the month, look, a real easy way to do a month is use the if you're just trying to find something really general, you can do August 15th, 2003. Then then run the 15th of the next year, then the 15th of whatever that month was for that, and you're going to get general output because your input was general, but you can do it that way too. But yeah, Protocol Prime is nothing but your interface with the mathematical construct. Therefore, it has no value after that day is passed. Once that day is passed, it's done. It's done. The new Protocol Prime will be whenever you do the next one. Michael Mesa, you said trying to find out if Keith's going to prison. What? Not Keith in our group. Krusty, you run it on everything, man. It's easy. It takes 5 minutes a day. Let's see. Easy scrapbooks. 1/2/2018. I'm about to input that now. 1/2018. Go up here. 2018. All right, I got the first date. Easy scrapbooks. 5/11/21. At the height of COVID. 5/11/21. I got those two dates. And I got Protocol Prime. Let me share my screen again. Show you what I'm looking at. Okay, easy. January 20th, 2018, May 11th, 2021, and today is Protocol Prime. Let's see here. Those are some faraway dates, but they do have a little bit of concentration here. Let's see. So I don't know what these dates mean to you, but they don't seem to concentrate again until like mid 2026. And then they're very focused in June and July. Yeah. Do you have any more dates that would be relative to whatever these signify? Because I'm seeing You be quiet, Bella. I'm seeing 2026 and then a jump to 2029 before something really significant. But it would be in the month of January, January 11th to be specific. But that could change. Like I said, you can't look too far into the future using PSYFR because any new protocol prime date is going to change the whole structure. Because the more you involve yourself with what you're measuring, the more the phenomena that is measured responds to that, to the soul or the psyche that is focused on it. Yeah, it's literally a mathematical. You're literally creating a mathematical feedback loop on the things that you want to create feedback loops on. Let's see. Let's see. Maybe take off this date. Let's see. Then you're stuck. Oh, again. Even when you remove protocol prime, the two specific times I told you were September, where you had big activity, and again June, July. Everything is removed, but June and July, and that September event. Add protocol prime. There's your June, July again. Yeah, September. Yeah. Wait a minute. That's not. Hold on. We're going to need to add protocol prime. That's today's date, 8/7. I don't know what she's barking at out there. Yeah, you still got that June and July concentration and September 14th. All 2026. Nothing this year. Nothing the rest of the year. And then that big one on January 11th, 2029. But let's see, July, you're looking at 10 months from now, 9.5, 10 months from now, whatever this means for you. But like I said, if the reason this isn't, you can't really take that as hardcore truth is because if any significant development happens that's related to anything that you've measured in the past, then that will be a new date added to your chart, which also gives you a new protocol prime date. So any new significant development that is added to whatever you've measured in the past automatically creates two new dates that must be entered into the construct. The new date that something unfolded on, and the new protocol prime date. That's why nobody's charts will ever remain the same. They will always begin deviating into your own personal arithmetic. Let's see. Throw me some dates out there. Jess threw out some dates. What is that? 5/15/2015, 5/15/2008. Is this too far back? Well, I mean, that is super far back. The reason they're far back is because whatever you're trying to measure, there's going to be something in space and time that is related to these two that you're missing here. They're way too far apart. When you're going to run PSYFR, I would stick with the last 6 months. Although you can measure things in the last 7 years and even longer, but this is a relativity-based system. And how do you know that you've gotten every single other date of an event where something in the field manifested that's very relative to what it is you're measuring? That's just a long period of time to be that confident over something. It's a long period of time. So let's see. What is this? 1, 2. Is that 1/2/18, not 1/20? Elizabeth? I have the wrong one on there. I have the wrong date for you on there. I thought you put 1/20. That's why I reread those dates. You've got January 2nd, 2018. not January 20th. Did you have it up here? Or was that my mistake? That's my mistake, right? All right. So let's look at you again, Easy, because that was wrong. That's wrong. That date, the difference between January 2nd and January 20th. Here's the corrected January 2nd and May 11th right here. That's what you have down right here. So you have a high concentration again in June. Actually, you got June and July again is your first little old burp. But that September one is gone now. It's totally gone. But what hasn't changed is the January 11th, 2029. It still has an MSRF hit right here. Oh, y'all can't see that. I've changed it. I corrected it. So there it is. Yeah. You still have the January next year, June and July next year. You still have the January 11th, 2029 is still significant right here. This green one. So that's an MSRF hit right there. And let's see. This one right here is also a alpha projection. It's based off phi. So this was an alpha. This was an alpha algorithm and an MSRF hit. I don't know what it means to you, but that's the corrected. All right. So yeah, main takeaway from this video here is yes, it needs to be written in. I don't know why it's not on the SOP. Maybe it is, and I just totally forgot because there's so many details I do forget sometimes what all the operations are going forward and backwards. But yeah, I can take the PP off. I can take it off, but we need to write that in because that has nothing to do with how PSYFR works. It has everything to do with operating procedure. You have to know on personal. Here, the PP's been removed, and we're left now with July 10th of next year, August 16th of next year, and October 14th of next year. That's what it looks like without Protocol Prime. For me personally, I'm always going to add Protocol Prime. All right. But we need to add it somewhere in the Telegram group so people understand. Yeah, because you can't do a list and then add a date to that list. Okay, Darren, I see it. And then accidentally leave it there because then you're messing your whole system up. Like, I'll give you an example. Easy, this is your chart. January 2nd, 2018 was a date of significance that you wanted to measure. So was May 11th at the top. But August 7th is not. This is nothing but the date that you interfaced with the prediction, the mathematical field. It's integral to you. So you don't add it to your list of dates when another event occurs and you write the date down. You don't want Protocol Prime from the past to be on that list because the mathematical structuring of your life really doesn't include it, but it does have predictive value. But if you add it as a past date of significance where something developed and nothing really did develop, you're going to get a bunch of ghost projections showing you potential developments in the field in the future where nothing really is going to actually develop. You're not measuring anything substantive. So yeah, Protocol Prime is the key. It's to be used as the date. It's the date of the measurement itself, but it's never to be employed ex post facto. If you've already moved on 2 or 3 days, a week, 2 weeks, 2 months into the future, you do not reach back in time and add a past Protocol Prime date to the list of dates you have, unless you want to put out even worse output. Each date of measurement is Protocol Prime. All right. So, okay, I'll explain that. Now, let me see. I just saw one here. Who was it? Just saw somebody gave me. Oh, Darren. Okay. Darren with the crazy frog looking thing. Emoji. What you got here? You got 7/25/25. Let's do it. All right. There is 7 July 25/25. Oh, wait a minute. You didn't give them to me in order, bro. Hold on. 1/8/25, 6/8/25. All right. 1/8/25. Let me start with that one. All right. 1/8/25. 6/8/25. 6/8. Oh, it's all right, man. I still got these on 2018. Hold on. That's the only thing I don't like about the system is the tiny arrows to change the year up and down. That's aggravating. I wish there was a better way to change the year faster. Let's see. 2025, January 8th. All right, now I got to change the year on the second one. 2025. And it's going to be 6/8/25. Got it. And the last one is today. Oh, no, you have a third date. 7/25/25. Let's add that. So here's the first one tonight of 4 dates. Protocol Prime being the 4th. This is July 25th, 25. All right. Perfect. August 7th. All right. Yeah, man. So how's my audio and my visual? Is it much better since I upgraded my Wi-Fi? You should be able to hear me better and see me better, even on that tiny little screen right there to the left. I'm just curious because this is my very first PSYFR video with my high-speed internet. Huge difference. Thank you. Yeah, I noticed it was a difference. I rewatch my YouTube videos. I go through the comment sections. I kind of make sure people don't get axed for no reason. And I noticed it was very clear and the audio was great. All right. So, Darren, January 8th, June 8th, July 25th, and today produces for you in August nominal activity up until the 20th of this month. Nominal meaning you do have some hits. These aren't really static days. Now, the 10th, 11th, and 12th, absolutely nothing. There's nothing happening for you. They're totally static compared to whatever you're measuring. I don't know what these dates mean to you, but whatever they mean to you, I'm telling you that August 10th, 11th, and 12th are pretty much static, and nothing will develop on those dates that are connected in any way conceptually to what you're measuring here. I'm telling you the same thing for the 16th and the 19th. If you noticed, I skipped around a lot because you have a lot of back-to-back dates that all have nominal hits, one single hit, which is interesting. I don't know what this means to you, but the 13th, 14th, 15th, there's 3 days in a row. All of them are nominal hits. Yeah, they're not static for whatever it is you're measuring here. 16th is, but the 17th is not. And again, it's 17th and 18th. Skips the 19th, and it's the 20th and the 23rd. Skipping the 21st and 22nd. So all month long, which is interesting to me because these dates are pretty spread out. January 8th was over 6 months ago. It's over 7 months ago. So, and then the next date after that was 5 months later, 6 months later. 6 months. Yeah, X1 to X2, there is a difference of about 180 days. And yet you got a real high compression on the output. That's very interesting to me because that's a long span of time between the first two measured dates. And then the second dates were almost a month and a half apart. June 8th to July 15th, and yet you still have high compression right here in August. Let's go further down. Look at this. It's still in August, and you're getting these big bangers. August 27th, 28th, and then September 1st, the beginning of the fiscal year, you got a banger. Two different algorithms hitting the same day. Let's see, one of them is a, what is it? All right, one of them is curvature, and the other one is an alpha. It is phi. Followed by September 2nd, September 3rd, then the 7th. It is, yeah, a lot of, it's a lot of activity. I don't know what you're trying to measure, what it is, but here it is. Whatever you're looking for, you should have a very significant development on August 20th. That's this month. Maybe a precursor August 18th. Now, this is kind of further back. It's huge. October 6th this year. However, long before October 6th comes, you're going to end up having a whole new protocol prime date because something is going to develop. There's too much here. There's too much. You're never going to get to October 6th without having to do another prediction. There's too much here. You may not get to August 20th, which is another big date. It doesn't mean August 20th and this other date aren't important to you, because if they are important to you, they'll even be more epic when you run a new protocol prime. What I'm telling you is August 20th with all this activity here may be too far away for your reading to just wait on August 20th. So what I'm saying is what you're measuring, whatever these numbers mean, whatever these dates mean for you, sometime in August before the 20th, you're probably going to have another development. And when you do, you've got to add that to your list of dates here. Removing August 7th, because August 7th is not a date anything really happened for you. It is a date when you interfaced with the field. It's August 7th is protocol prime. So you ignore it in the future. When you look back from the future to the past, the only dates relevant to you is January 8th, June 8th, and July 25th, and you ignore August 7th. But in place of August 7th is now, your X4 date is now whatever date something significant developed in August. That's your new date. And then the fifth day, and then the new fifth date becomes your new protocol prime. Like I said, that's why nobody's charts will ever remain the same. All right, let's see. I'm going to get back to you, Jess. I'm going to see if somebody else got some. Damn, Jess, you got a bunch. Let's see. This is different, but related. Let's see. Jonathan Rogers, Jason, people might be interested in learning what the operations measure mean. Oh, curvature. Oh, we run out of dates to check on. If we run out of dates to check on. Well, I do have in the PDFs descriptions of the individual algorithms and what they're based off of, how the MSRF was built. The alpha and beta projections, the core 12, not the holoflective, which look at reality like a mirror in mathematics, and not the isometric projections, which measure equidistant structuring in mathematics. The 12 core algorithms are only based off three things. And they're the three things by which our scientists, our physicists tell us the entire physical world, all movement in the physical world is pretty much governed by. And it's merely pi, which is 3.1416, and phi, which is 1.618. But there is a magical number of 5.08, which represents not just pi, the perimeter of a circle, and not just phi, which is the spiral that never closes, but pi times phi is a moving spiral that's ever closing and never never forming a perfect circle. It can't. It is the moving spiral. It's basically what time. It is the motive. It is the operative fabric of time itself. If time could ever be really defined, which we can't because we're subjective, we are inside a experience that is sequential. And the best way we can define the sequence of events that we perceive is by inventing all kinds of theories about time. So physicists can only define what we're really experiencing, which is the movement of objects and their juxtaposition to each other by their different phases in our perception, how they move and how they change. And the best way to do that is how they act with each other. One is 3.14 pi, and the other one is phi, 1.618, which governs everything in nature. So this is what the 12 core algorithms are based off of. Different ways to apply a single linear measurement in time, x1 to x2. And the distance in time, time is segmented into diurnal rotations, day and night, or night and day, night and day, night and day. So being a diurnal based system, x1 to x2, let's say x1 is an event that happened 53 days before x2. Well, x1 and x2 produce a line of 53. This becomes your y-axis. X1 to x2 always produces y. Y is the distance in time between x1 and x2. And then that distance is run through all 12 protocol operations to see what pi, phi, and curvature are going to do with that y-axis and how that y-axis actually projects into the future. This is what PSYFR is doing. Now we've tweaked it we've in some really creative ways, and some of the protocols are real similar. They're so similar that in projections of even up to 200 or 300 days, they're still only 1 to 2 days apart. But yeah, it's really hard to put an actual definition on something that is undefinable. It is these operations are merely using what we know about the physics constants and using them for their predictive value. And all PSYFR really is taking the physics constants that govern all the mobility, everything motive in the natural world, and applying it to our perception of linear time, which we know time is cyclical. That's why we have so much amazing findings in this. But we are applying a cyclical based system on linear projections. The linear projection is you're deciding what the date is that's relative to the next date. And the distance in time between those two decisions provides a y-axis. Your decision about what is relative to each other in the field as pertaining to you is then run through all 14 protocols: holoflective projections, isometric projections, and 12 algorithms. Now, that's where it stands right now. We're about to add some more. In ways they're very similar to what's already here, but there are some differences, especially with the intradecimal matrix filter, which I'm almost done with. But this is the only filter that we have, because holoflective shows that we live in a hologram as well as isometric. Isometric shows that we live in a mathematical structure. That's the difference. Isometric projections that they work is literally evidence that we live in a mathematical framework. Holoflective projections, the reason why when they work, it's just evidence that we live in a holographic mathematical environment. But the 12 algorithms divided between alpha and beta projections, all those are is evidence that the physics constants that govern all mobility in our world also govern the distance and time between any objects that are in motion. So it's taking the physical and applying it to the dimensions of time. And the dimensions of time are not arbitrary. We know that the only real element of time is the diurnal system. day and night. Everything else is mechanical time invented by men. Seconds, minutes, hours, it's all invented by men. But in the construct, the day is something men have nothing to do with. All we can do is observe it and then measure things by it. It's diurnal system. The intradecimal matrix filter is going to be, it's a projection. It's going to be totally different. It's going to be evidence that we live in basically more like a holographic mathematical computer program, because the decimal matrix structuring is very interesting. We shouldn't be getting, I've been practicing with it for a while. We should not be getting exact decimal readings from some of these deals. It doesn't even make sense, but we are. So it's going to have to be added as a projection. We just don't know when. But that's the best way. I'm not showing a chart right now. I'm just talking. All right, let's see. That's the best way I can answer that, Jonathan. Let's see. Okay. Easy Scrapbooks has a modification for her deal. All right, Easy Scrapbooks. January 6, 2018. Let's do it again. See what we see. January 6, 2018. April 14th, 2021. Two easy ones. Got them. Now I'm going to add today's date. Done. All right. Let's see what we see. Let's see what we see. January 6th. This is for easy. January 6th, 2018. April 14th, 2021. August 7th, 2025. All good. All good. So I still don't know what these mean to you. But again, remember, on the last series of dates you gave me, it looked like 2026 was before you were going to see any activity. Here it is again. A small burp in April at the very end, but at the beginning of June, the middle of June, and July again. I remember, Easy, yours were really prominent for June and July. Here it is again, June and July. See this, July 28th got an MRS hit. Let's see that. Okay, this is going to be that's an alpha projection. I kind of rate the alpha projections more important than the beta ones. This is an alpha because it's based off phi. If it's based off pi, it's a beta. Let's see. All right. That's going to be July 28th. So I remember also from your chart that October 2029 was pretty prominent. And then here we have November. We don't really have it. So it kind of fades off. It's all nominal. It's too far into the future because there will be other developments that would modify the chart. But it looks like July 28th, 2026 is epic. But I don't know what you're measuring. And you could get a significant date to add here in the next 2 or 3 days. Here you just don't know. You just don't know. It's I don't know what you're measuring, so I can't really say nothing about it. I do see a major Phoenix number right here. You see that 1931, 1931.9? Well, 1931.9 is, for all intents and purposes, 1932. And last time I checked, 1932 was divisible by 138. I don't even know where my phone is. There it is. Last time I checked, it was divisible. Let me check real quick. 1932 divided by 138. Yep, 14. So, yeah. That's pretty interesting. So really, if I would have factored that in, that should have been another hit. That would have been at least a half a point. That would have made July 28th a little bit more important. Yeah, that's that chart. All right. Let's see. Oh, days you started making designer leather handbags. I got a buddy who's still in prison, been there 30 something years, and about every maybe 6-7 months, I I get a big box from him full of all custom leather wallets, belts, koozies, all that stuff, and I send him money so he can re-up on his supplies and get a profit from it and fill up his commissary account. So yeah, I'm big on the custom leather stuff. Let's see. Blue sky, green earth. What you got here? New creative venture taking day one, taking the first action, July 8th. Oh, okay. Was this what you got on screen? Let's see what's good. Let's see what you got here. So, July 8th, 2028. Let me do it. Let me see what you got here. 2025, July 8th. July 8th is my first one. Got it. Next one is July 22nd, 2025. Got it. Next one after that, July 28th. Oh, these are PSYFR related, aren't they? July 28th. Okay, that's wrong. Third one's July 28th. I got to add one to July 29th, back to back. I got to add another one to August 1st. August 1st. Okay, so it skips a couple days. August 1st. We got a bunch of dates here. August 3rd. Look at you. August 3rd and today. We must add today, which is that's a good little skip there. Look at this. You got a high compression of data because your dates are very close together. I'm going to remove you from the field, bring this in. This is your chart. Like I said, I don't know what it means to you, but I have a suspicion that you're putting me to the test. This has something to do with PSYFR. You got a lot. I don't attribute too much importance to all these red dots. Ordinarily, you would. Problem is your dates are all back to back to back. Not all of them, but a bunch of them. There's a significant amount of time between X1 and X2, and a little bit between X2 and X3, but none between X3 and X4. Oh, maybe 1 or 2 days between X4 and X5. 1 day in between X5 and X6. And then 4 days between X6 and X7. So you have a lot of days back to back to back. That's just too many. It's a lot. It's that information. This is what you run in. This is why it was so difficult to do NBA. This isn't even as compressed as the NBA data at all. But I'm going to apply some filters. I'm going to apply some filters. Has a score below 4. I don't know why I can't change that. I guess I can't change it. Why is that number there if I can't change it? There it is. There we go. Get all that noise out of there. I changed that number in there to get the noise out. Has a score below 4. This condensed it greatly for me. Yeah, that's a lot. It's just like NBA or Major League Baseball. You're measuring too many days that are too close together, back to back, and it's going to produce this type of output. There's too many hits. So I'm going to increase this down here. It says has a score below 4. We're going to do this again. I'm going to change it to 7. which I don't know why I did that, because they're still all over 10. They're still all over 10. So we have no MSRF hit whatsoever for the 8th, but that doesn't mean anything. Every one of these dates is high potential. Now, what is significant, what you can't ignore, is that the 8th, 9th, and 10th, because of the high compression of data, you have the 8th, 9th, and 10th. But even with the high compression of data, look carefully at the chart. What's missing? You don't have anything for the 11th. You don't have anything for the 14th and 15th. So you can't go. It doesn't go any further. So I'm going to change. I'm going to take that back off, and I'm going to go back to what it normally was. Eight, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, puts all the dates back. They're just low. Just low hits. No MSRF either. So yeah, there's really, listen, I don't know what these dates mean to you, but the input of dates has created too much noise. I would take some off. I would take some dates. That's what I did with NBA. When I did that 120 game head-to-head with PSYFR in Vegas, there was no way by the end as we closed in on the championships, because those NBA games are going back to back to back to back to back. I had to literally cut down from measuring the last 5 games to 4 games to 3 games, and it got for the last 40 games. Me and Cole and I sat side by side, and we literally only entered the last 2 dates that each NBA game team won, because the data compression was just so terrible. So, and we still came out with flying colors, but that's what we had to do. We had to eliminate there comes a point where your input is just too noisy. So it's too noisy. So let me see. Who was that I was running that for? It wasn't Darren. It wasn't Easy. Oh, Blue Sky. Yeah, Blue Sky, Green Earth. These are PSYFR dates. Excuse me. I'm assuming these are PSYFR dates, but there certainly are. Either the output is correct, and you're going to have a lot of activity concerning whatever this means in the next 2 weeks, or you may have to eliminate some dates to hone in on the exact days. Or even more important, one of these days is going to be very significant for what you're going to do, and the significance is going to make you realize that some of these past dates shouldn't have been added to the chart. And then you'll have your new date, and a whole new chart opens up when you do a new Protocol Prime predictions date. Let's see. Let's see. Max Klein, what are you talking about? Did you provide me some dates? I'm trying to see what Max Klein's talking about. How did I lose the number 1 spot? I don't know. I see Max Klein's post here, but I'm going to tell you now. I don't know what you're talking about. Thanks, Jason. X1 equals 7.14. Oh, those are dates. Those are okay. I'm sorry. I thought you were giving me a formula. 7.14.25 times 2. I get it. So it's not times 2, it's X2. I see you. Okay, I see it. Let me run those right now. Let me get these out the way. All right. So the first date, Max Klein's, is 7/14/25. 7/14/25. The next one is 8/5/25. Is there a third one? 8/5/25. Oh no, 8/5/25 after sunset is 8/6. I'm sorry. That's 8/6. I'm putting that one down as 8/6. And I'm adding the next one, which you say is 8/6, but after sunset is also, that's not going to be, it's going to be 8/7. It's going to be 8/7. Now, this means your protocol prime date and your X3 date are the same thing. We're going to keep it that way, which means that over the next 2 or 3 months, you don't have hardly anything significant except tomorrow. Whatever these dates mean to you, tomorrow looks like a breakthrough day, or tomorrow looks like a day where something changes for you that puts you on the trajectory you need to be on. There's a significant development. Here it is, August 8th. It's right here. And July 14th is a pretty good distance away from August 6th. So there's a lot of hits. You have a lot of hits because of the distance between X1 and X2. Seeing 5 different operations all hit the same date, which is August 8th. That's pretty interesting. That is pretty interesting. Now, you do have a lot of activity following that immediately on the 9th, 10th, 11th. And then you have a jump of a week where there's zero activity for a week. And then it jumps again on the 19th and 20th. Looks like 21st maybe. But yeah, I don't know what these dates mean to you. But whatever they mean to you, you have a significant power date tomorrow. Tomorrow is a date that you really need to pay attention to. And I'm going to tell you now, tomorrow is today. If you're anywhere, I don't know who you are or where you're at, but if you're anywhere in the world right now where the sun has already set, then it's already tomorrow for you. This prediction was done for you on the 8th, wherever you're at. So I don't know. Hope that helped. I'd like to see those leather handbags. It's almost time for me to start buying Christmas presents. Jonathan, one of my filters is like when I'm running NBA. Now you have to understand, I use PSYFR against NBA, against Vegas for 120 games straight. 120 games straight. Before I even used PSYFR, I already had a process of elimination though. And one of the significant things that I eliminated was when Vegas provides a spread of 5.5 or more, they already know who's going to win. And they're very accurate. 71% of the time they got it. So automatically out of 120 games, I've already knocked off about a good 40% of the games. Gone, eliminated from consideration. I'm not even going to run PSYFR on those games because the point spread at 5.5 and higher is so high that I got to put $1,000 up just to win $100. Yeah, it's no good. It's no good. I'm not going to do it. So the process of elimination actually begins before you even use PSYFR. So on 120, because the reason it was done this way is because somebody told me, Jason, I may as well just go with Vegas. If Vegas is 71% of the time, as we verified, then I can just bet on all 120 games. And at the end of 120 games, I will come out on top and win. And I had to show them they're absolutely wrong. They're wrong because of the bet structure. The bet structure is designed against you. And it's all because of the point spread differentials. And they literally take way more money from you than they're paying out. And if you go with all 120 games, you will lose every time. You will lose a lot of money every time, even though Vegas is 71% accurate. That 71% accuracy is not going to do you any good when you're putting up $1,000 to win 100 over and over. And out of the 71% success, that means 29% of the time they're wrong. 50% of those games that they're wrong on are a part of that 5.5 differential and higher spread, meaning you're losing your ass when you do lose. You're losing your ass if you bet on all 120 games. So the benefit of using PSYFR was that the second thing that my process of elimination. The first thing, like I said, remember this. You can take notes. Every gambler should be coming up with a system that works for them. For me, before I used PSYFR, I eliminated every point spread of 5.5 or higher because the winner's pretty much already known. And if you bet on a winning team, if you bet on the favored team, you're just throwing money away because you've got to win way more than you lose in order to stay even, because you're throwing a bunch of money to win a little. Now, so when you do lose, because they lose 29% of the time, and 50% of those they lose are the 5.5 and higher differentials, then that means there's no way in hell that on the games that you win, you will ever win enough to make up for all the losses. It's impossible mathematically. And Vegas knows this. This is why they make money. So in my system, I eliminate all point spreads of 5.5 or higher. I'm not even going to deal with them. That left me a smaller window to look at. So as I'm doing game predictions, I'm looking at the last 2 times this NBA team won. The last 2 times the team they're playing won. Also soccer, I did it the same way. So did Cole. Cole sometimes went back to a 3rd and 4th game if there was a tie. And we discovered something, but I'll tell you that later. So measuring the 2 games playing each other, just the last 2 dates. We're not using Protocol Prime because we're not measuring anything in the personal. We're measuring things in the field. So we sit there and did that. And every single time PSYFR gave us a 0-0 as hits for each team, or a 1-1, or a 2-2, or a 3-3, we eliminated it from consideration. Because PSYFR is not giving us any actionable intel over what Vegas is already predicting, eliminated from the field. So that eliminated a bunch more teams. But then we had when PSYFR disagreed with Vegas. Well, 70 to 80% of the time when PSYFR disagrees with Vegas, Vegas has the winning team, but PSYFR's indicating an underdog's going to win. About 75, I'm going to say 75% of the time, PSYFR was right, but we didn't bet on those games. We just kept that as a data column. Like, oh man, check this out. Here's PSYFR's showing that the other team's going to win, but it's not 100%. And this is what was frustrating the shit out of me and Cole. PSYFR would show that Vegas was wrong, but and this can be back tested by anybody. It's never 100% correct when it disagrees with Vegas, but it is about 75% correct when it disagrees with Vegas. So this is something I plan on looking at too, trying to hone in on the underdogs and get better at that. But for all intents and purposes, for my experiment, all I did was eliminate every time, even when PSYFR disagreed with Vegas. Those are games. I'm done with that. If PSYFR's not going to agree with the house, because I'm trying to prove a point to somebody who thinks that that Vegas's 71% will make them rich. So I now have a third thing to eliminate, and that's when PSYFR disagrees with the house. When there's disagreement with the house, I'll remove it from consideration. That leaves about 40% of the games out of 120 games. It leaves about 40% of those games that are actionable when PSYFR actually agrees with the house. And when I did those 3 different processes of elimination, PSYFR became 94.5% accurate. Huge difference. Does PSYFR gamble on all 120 games? No, only a moron would. I just wanted to prove a point. If you want to bet on all 120 games, then do so. You can, and you'll lose every time. But if you use PSYFR as a tool against the house or with the house, this is how you would do it. Process of elimination leaves me a small pool. On that small pool, PSYFR agrees with the house who's going to win. So what that they're all already predicted to win. I've already eliminated those with 5.5 point spreads that are too high to where you're not going to win any money, which left me with all the lower point spreads that PSYFR and the house both agreed on, meaning I'm winning a whole lot more money than I'm losing. I'm winning a whole lot more money. That's all you have to do. It's that simple. PSYFR is never going to be able to just 100% give you all the data that you want, but you can use it as a tool in ingenious ways for all different types of sports to hedge the bets, to get basically to make it work in your favor. This is all I did on my last trip to Vegas. It was very successful. So some of you gamblers know what I'm talking. A lot of you that don't gamble, you don't know what I'm talking about. But some of you gamblers know what I'm talking about. Okay. I'm going to tell you now, Jonathan. That's a good question. How did you come up with the 5.5 spread? The 5.5 spread was after my first 2 trips to Vegas watching NBA. That spread doesn't have anything to do with baseball or NFL. That spread only has anything to do with NBA. That's it, NBA. And I just noticed that beyond 5.5, beyond spread of 5.5, there's just no money to be made. It's because the over-unders, it's because the point spreads, it's because the money line. You just can't win any money. You're risking too much money if you go with the favored and they don't win. Because remember, out of a 120 game stretch, Vegas is successful 71% of the time. That sounds real good. But that 29% that they're not successful at are the very games where you're putting a bunch of money up just to win a little bit. So every single game breaks you. Instead of just relying on when PSYFR agrees with the house, okay, so what? You put up $400 just to win, $250. You get your $400 back, then you win $250. That's much better. It's much better than betting on all 120 games straight. Just relying on Vegas to be right, like they are 71% of the time. Yeah, risk versus reward structure, absolutely. And I'm not even a gambler. This is just a system that I invented right there on the spot as I was seeing these things unfold. The 5.5 differential could be better adjusted, but it was a good litmus for me right then and there while I was in the hotel room doing these predictions. Yeah, I can't wait for NFL. NFL's so different than all these other sports. Okay, I see one right here. Hayden Isles. Hello, Hayden. Oh, buddy. Let's see. October 3rd, 2016. Man, you reached back. October 3rd, 2016. Man, I'm curious to see if you're going to see anything. Let's go with 10/3/2016, huh? I'm going to put you on screen so I don't lose you. Is that back when you were a young buckaroo, Hayden? Let's see. 10/3/2016. 10/3/2016. And the next one is 10/5/2025. That is a hell of a leap, man. It's a hell of a leap. Okay. And today. So that can't be right. It tends to say, Hayden, it's not right. 10/5/25 hasn't even happened yet. There's a mistake here, Hayden. You got a mistake in your second date. Your second date hasn't happened yet. It's not October yet. You got to provide me a different date. Oh, Hayden Isles. Okay, I see another one right here. 10/3/2016. Now you still got that same date. 10/5/2025. That can't be on there. This is the third date's wrong, Hayden. The third date's wrong. October 5th, 2025 hasn't happened. So the second number is Now I understand, but 2020, oh, oh, okay, yeah, some of you, okay, I get it. That's not how we do it in the States, but I get it. We go month, day, year. All I've ever seen was month, day, year, but I have noticed that some people do day, month, year. You're right. You're right. Okay, I'm the dumbass this time. 10/3/2016. I'm on video right now. Oh, that's my dog. My dog will lean against the door and start scratching. It sounds just like somebody knocking. 8/8/2025. All right. She can hear my voice. 8/8/2025. So it's not October 3rd. It's 3/10, right? I gotta change that. Oh, you guys on the other hemisphere are so confusing. So that's March 10th, 2016. And this is gonna be May 10th, 2025. All right, this is not this. No, it still doesn't work. That doesn't work. It won't show up on the screen because 8/8/2025. Okay, you're so confusing, Hayden. That middle date doesn't belong there. It belongs on the far right. You didn't give me these dates in order. I'm beginning to wonder if these dates have any value. 8/8/2025. Let me switch these out because these are wrong. So 8/8/2025. Okay, now I got them. Now we have a chart. All right, now we have a chart. Hayden over there laughing at me. Where you? You're in Australia, aren't you? Let's see. Eight eight. So it's already August 8th in Australia. So this last one's Protocol Prime. This is what it looks like. This is what your chart looks like. There is a vast difference between 2016 and 2025 without anything in between or close to the 3/10/2016 date. It's all by itself. So whatever these mean to you, you do have a date coming up on August 17th. And that's all it takes is one date for you to have a whole new mathematical pattern unfold with a whole new protocol prime. That's all it takes is one date. Whatever these mean to you. So I am curious. Equation alpha. This is an alpha operation. Why is this an alpha? Y2. Y2. I'm trying to see how Doug's explanatory notes right here. It's in the X2 to X3 range. So it's the May 10th and the August 8th today. 90 days. Oh man, this is a holoflective number. That's why he didn't put holoflective in there in my as I've got in my programming notes. He's showing the equation is Z date equals X3 plus a flip around, which is exactly how it would be. 90 days becomes 9 days in a hologram. There it is. Not because you've taken a 10th power away from it, but because it's been inverted backwards. It loses the zero. Okay, I just didn't understand how Doug had that written. All right. So interesting. Gotta look at that again. Now, okay, so when I see flip, I know what he's saying. It's a holoflective number. I got it. I'm learning too, guys. I don't really know how he programmed this. I'm learning too. That's interesting. All right. So Hayden, You didn't offer much in the way of dates. 2016 is a long time ago. August 17th, you may have something unfold that is relative to 2025. May 10th. I don't see anything connecting to May 10th, 2016. Even in the unfolding of these operations, not one operation reaches back to 2016. It reached back to May 10th. At least as far as this August 17th goes. Again, October 2nd is it's much bigger. It's also an MSRF hit. But what's significant here is, again, the algorithm is not reaching back to the 2016 date. But you do have one in November that does. It does. No, the range is X2 to X3. I'm sorry, Hayden. Whatever this 2016 date means to you, you don't have anything reaching back to it. You do on January 8th, 2031. Damn, that's a long time from now. January 8th, 2031, one of the PSYFR operations actually indicates it is connected to your March 10th, 2016 date. It's a long way off, bro. Normally, I don't really entertain a lot of stuff that's that far into the future because I know that there will be significant developments that occur in my life that are going to cause me to have a whole new protocol prime. Let me see that. Somebody asked about the full moon. I thought I had it on there. Oh, man. Yeah, I normally keep the full moon on there. I don't know why it's off. And the solar eclipse and the lunar eclipse. I normally keep them on there. Let's see. Damn it, man. I do not like. Why I can't. That's probably something that we need to talk to Doug about. These moons should show an exact date. It just says 2031. But then again, well, I guess we can look up. Oh, there it is. January 8th, 2031. It is also a full moon. On that date, Hayden. And over here, November 6th is a full moon. All right. Anyway. Krusty Molek, Jason, when you did this system manually, how did you treat rounding? I always rounded to the next day. Always rounded forward because anytime we're dealing with a projection, when the prediction lands on a date, it's always, if we were to have the exact time when it was supposed to start, it's always going to land on the middle of the day. Part of that day is already over. So my safest bets was always to push forward. I was even convinced for a while, I can't remember what convinced me, but something unconvinced me later that, and I mean, some of you might want to back test this and look at it, but there was a period where I got frustrated because it seemed that every projection that I was doing, the date that I predicted, what I predicted wasn't coming to pass, but it would the next day. So this was something that has always been in the back of my mind. And I can't remember. I started doing some other measurements for a while and I just lost track. Guys, I'm really busy. Remember, this was not on the table for a long time, for years, because this was going to fund Archaics. But when I started doing podcasts and I was still contracting and I was still making money building people's dream backyards and koi ponds and swimming, flagstoning swimming pools and driveways, I was making a living doing that while I was uploading videos to YouTube, even though nobody was listening to me. And You know, you guys know I had 300 and something videos before I even had 1,000 subs. And when I had 1,000 subs, there was only 12 people in my live chat for like 2 years. So I'm I was working on Office back then, but all of a sudden Archaic, you guys know my story, all of a sudden Archaic's just launched and it hasn't stopped since. It's just, and I just put all this on the back burner. And I forgot a lot of, I'm just remembering a lot of the things going through my notes and talking to you guys that I remember. And one of those things I do remember is one of the things I do remember on projections was it seemed like my safest bet was to assume that uh the very next day, if Office showed that the very next day was a major hit, side by side with the day that I was actually predicting on the whenever these two teams are going to play, I ran with it. I ran with it, especially because you couldn't go wrong if it showed that both dates back to back were strong in the signals. So I did that for a while with some success. Yeah, but yeah, the further as it, you know, any mathematical construct is always going to be a relativity-based system. As a relativity-based system, you have to understand the pool of water. If what you're doing in time right now is the drop, then the rings, the wave rings that are going to be most relative to you are the ones that are closest. They contain the information the most uncorrupted. What corrupts information in the field? Other fields interacting with it. They create what? Interference patterns. What happens when another drop happens? Well, once you've already dropped your drop and somebody else drops their drop, what happens? Your wave rings meet their wave rings. It doesn't slow. There's no loss. There's no loss of information, but the information absorbs other information. There is a total interference. There's a total exchange of information, which dynamically changes what the wave rings are really conveying now. So it's the same thing in life. This is why it's important to understand that you need, when you have a significant development, that is another date you need to add to your list, making sure that you have eliminated any past protocol prime dates. And the easiest way not to make the mistake of adding protocol prime dates accidentally is on your list of whatever you're measuring. You may have multiple lists like I do. On your list, every date should have a one-liner of what that date means to you. What that date means to you. And when you come across dates that you've written down that don't have that one-liner, you know those are protocol prime dates that were important then but are no longer important now. And you eliminate them. Scratch them off. Just scratch them off. All right. Let's see. Absolutely, Blue Sky. You can use Cypher to create reality tunnels. You can empower the arithmetic of whatever it is you're measuring just by continuing to measure it, and to observe events unfold that are tantamount, that are relative to what it is that you're expecting, and then add that as a date, and you have a new protocol prime date. Yeah, we build our own world through expectation. We create our own world by activity, and this is an activity. Employing Cypher is literally a physical activity in the field that the field will respect. It will respond to it. There's no doubt. No doubt. No doubt. I'm trying to scroll back here a little bit. Hayden, get off my screen. Hi, get. There you go. All right. Jess, I don't know. Jess asked, what if you're measuring longer duration life events like relationships, start and end dates? I don't know why you can't, but I mean, you can measure them. I don't know what utility. I just don't know. You could. I mean, I was using it in prison, using paper and calculator and a pen. And yeah, it introduced a lot of human error, but I used to use it in prison to predict how long I was going to stay at a certain unit or how long I needed to be on a certain unit. I used to measure how many. I used to create all kinds of y-axes to measure how long I've been in different cell blocks, how long I've been on minimum custody, medium custody, close custody, administrative segregation. I used to do all that. They used to think I was insane in prison, and the Hispanic population called me a bruja. They didn't want nothing to do with me. They stayed away from me, and it all stems from one little incident where this short little guy from one of the Mexican gangs, Mexicanos. It's a Texas Mexican gang called Mexicanos, and he was really interested in the numbers and the chart. He used to see the charts I used to draw for some of the guys I used to do them for, and he asked for one, and I said, well, you need to show me your paperwork, and I need to see your paperwork in order to do all that. So you got to have dates. So he brought me his paperwork, man. I'm like, his name is Escamilla. I said, come on, Escamilla, man. You brought me major cases. Every one of these, man, you brought me 14, 15 major cases. Stabbing case, got caught with cocaine, got caught with making hooch, got caught with tattoo guns, got caught. I said, man, you brought me all your disciplinary. He said, man, vato, no, I ain't not no more mas. I ain't got no more paperwork. This is all I got. I said, all right, man, whatever. I said, I don't like running the system on negatives because it's going to produce negative output. So he's like, yeah, vato, yeah, man. If you can do that for me, you can tell me, say what days in the future that I need to watch out for, and maybe bless San Judas Tadeo, the mother. He's going off, talking about I go to church, vato. I said, whatever, man. I said, I'm gonna run him for you. I'll holler at you a couple days. So I did that. Done shit. Stop shit. So I did that, and I ran his deal. I told the story on YouTube. It's kind of funny now. It was scary when it happened. It's kind of funny now, but he gave me all these dates where terrible things happened for him in his imprisonment because that's all he had records of. He had the whole stack, the exact dates. So I ran them. And when I was done, I drew him a little chart and I showed him the dates on the chart, made it very simple. And I showed him, back then I had a little rating system of black dots. If a date had 2 black dots, that was not as bad as 3 black dots or 4 black dots. I think I went up to 5 black dots. And I'll never forget, I told Escamilla that hey man, you got a bunch of 1s and 2s here. I'm just ignore them. If you're living life the way you're supposed to be living life, I don't think anything really bad can happen on these. But look, you got some mega 4, 5, 6 hits. Look, see these dates? Yeah, the same dates kept coming up. You had 3 of them. They're really bad, man. I said, you know what? If I was you, I would get some ramen noodle soups, get you a hot pot, stay your ass in the cell. These 3 days here are days that you should not be moving around the penitentiary. Prisons are cities, guys. I really should do a YouTube video and just tell people the business about Texas prison, but they're like little cities. Everything is accessible there. And I said, man, these are days you don't need to go anywhere. So he's like, man, are you telling me, SA, that I can go to the rec yard on these other days right here and it don't matter what I do, man? Squint the loaf. I go in there with my fierro. I go in there and do whatever I want to do and I'm not getting no trouble. I'm like, damn, man, this dude's taking it to another level. I said, no, I'm telling you, bro, that on the dates you gave me, the dates that I'm showing on this chart are connected. I said, listen, man, I'm telling you now, Dios, on these 3 days, it's going to deal with your ass about all these other dates right here if you do anything stupid around this time. That's the best way I can convey it to him because he's thinking that I'm giving him a pass. He's thinking that all these days that there's nothing bad marked on it are days he's got a free pass to do whatever he wants to. I can't get it through. So I told him, I said, man, you know what? Just don't leave the cell, bro, on these 3 days. I totally forgot about it. But he took it to his homeboys and showed everybody, and they forgot about it. About 6 months later, all the horns in the prison go off. Something's going down. So I remember what I was doing at the time. So I got a broom. A broom is a key in prison. If you get your hands on a broom, it gives you access to everywhere in a prison because it's the one thing that the guards see you with the broom, they unlock. Most of the time, they don't ask you questions. If you're on maximum security, where I spend most of my time, they don't ask you questions because it could offend a ranking officer. If a convict has a broom and he walks up to the gate with confidence, almost every time the officer's just going to look at him, going to open up the key, and he's going to ask, "Is there anything I need to know? Is there anything I need to know, man? You got anything on you?" And you just tell them straight up. It says, "Listen, I do have something on me, and I promise you, you don't want to know what it is." All right, man, go. This is how the maximum security runs. So I was taking my broom and I'm out of place. I'm like 5 cell blocks away from where I'm supposed to be. I got my broom, the horns are going off. And because the officers don't ever want to get caught by a ranking officer of letting people in cell blocks they don't live on, they hurry up and open the doors. Let me out, let me out. They're not asking no questions because they don't want to get caught. So money changes hands in prison. I used to sell cell phones. I didn't grow cell phones. Somebody was giving them to me. So I got my broom and I made it back. And I made it back to my block. I get on there, and about 4 hours later, we find out there was a stabbing in the chow hall. I said, okay, it's no big deal. I mean, this happens all the time. We get locked down. So, the next day they unlock us. They've cleaned up everything. The perpetrators are in lockup. The victim is in a hospital or dead, whatever. And I'll never forget this. They call Rick like 2 days later or something. I'm on the rec yard. I'm out there walking laps. I like to power walk. I don't like to run because it's real bad on the knees. I don't have bad knees because I spent years and years and years in prison power walking. I can walk almost as fast as people can jog. So this is how I stayed in shape. And I'm on the rec yard in the sun, and I'm power walking, and I just feel it. You don't do a lot of prison time, and you don't get that second sense. I just felt it. I started looking around the yard, and I said, oh, shit. So we've got the Black Disciple Gangsters clicked up. Crips are clicked up. Mandingo Warriors are clicked up. So if the blacks are all clicked up, I'll automatically know whatever's about to go down is racial. So the next thing I do is I look at the SAs and the whites. I see all the white guys playing handball, playing basketball, doing all this shit. We're a minority. I see all of them doing all kinds of shit, and none of them really look like they're worried about anything. I see all the Mexican groups are the same as the white guys. They're not worried about shit. They're doing whatever they want to do. Everybody's kind of got their eyes on the clicked up black guys, all their little groups. But they in prison, they clicked up anytime something was going on. Even if it didn't involve them, they'd click up, and their blacks are really into prison politics. So this is what happened. I read the situation instantly. It was only one group, Mexicans. None of the other Mexicans were involved. One group was all in a circle. They're in a powwow, and I saw two of them break off toward where I was going to be. They were walking to intercept. So as soon as I saw the play, I walked straight toward them. I already knew what it was. I kind of caught them off guard, and I said, "You guys got something you want to say to me?" And as soon as that happened, the whole rec yard knew what was going on because I'm very well known in prison. I was very outspoken. Sometimes I was a real dumbass, but I'm never going to show fear ever. So I walked straight into the circle, and I seen the guy, the leader of the dude. He's like Ese Jaime. They wouldn't call me Jason. The Mexican guys wouldn't call me Jason. Ese Jaime. So I said, what is the deal, man? I said, why are you guys out in prison? This is how we talk. I don't normally talk like this out here. But I said, hey, man, why are you guys eye fucking me? I said, I'm not feeling this shit, and this shit's going to end. And if there's somebody in this circle, man, that has some type of issue with me, there's other ways we handle this. You don't send a whole circle of people sitting there staring me down. So, because there is politics in prison, and the dude was respectful. He speaks for Mexicans, and he's like, hey, man, con mucho respeto, no arroyo contigo no más. And he's saying, man, we ain't got no more conversation for you no more. And I'm listening to him, and yo le entiendo español cuando yo quiero, but for those of you who speak Spanish, so I'm listening to him out and say, hold on, stop. What in the fuck are you guys talking about? So another dude stepped up and said, hey, man, Escamilla got stabbed in the chow hall, man, because you wrote that fucking witchcraft on that paper, man. And he believed that shit, man. And he thought he was invincible. And he went on the chow hall on that day, and it had all them fucking black dots on their essay. And he went in there and he got fucking perforated, man. My homeboy's all up in the hospital. I'm like, man. I said, I told that dude not to leave his cell on these days. I did not tell him he was invincible. And he understood that 6 months ago. So, long story short, I got called a bruja. In Spanish, it's a witch. And for the rest of the time, I was on East Ham prison. Those Mexican guys would not talk to me. They would not talk to me at all. If they wanted a cell phone, or if they wanted any type of contraband that I had access to, they went through an intermediary, another white guy or a black guy who came to me and did the business deal. Anyway, a long story short, I'll never forget that dude. A long time ago. I don't even know whatever happened to that dude. I did, Jonathan. I already told the story on YouTube. I told the story a long time ago. I told a lot of prison stories on YouTube. They're just scattered around. Some of them are in van vlogs on Archaics TV, but those videos on Archaics TV that I freestyled about different shit, I'm going to put them on Archaics Underground so people who haven't watched them can see them. Yeah, man. So I know a lot more people are going to end up watching this video. It was so late. I apologize for being late, but these are going to be very frequent until I know that you guys know exactly what we're doing here. Here in a few more days, we're going to go live in Cypher again, and we're going to do more predictions. And we're going to, until we flesh all this out, until we're all on the same page, we know exactly. I mean, I have no doubt that some of you are going to start getting so good at this on the personal and the professional that you may start your own side gigs doing personal and professional predictions for other people. I welcome you to do that. Yeah, I'm not trying to stop that. I'm not trying to stop you from doing that. More power to you. More power to you. Absolutely. Absolutely. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and go. It's been 2 hours, and I don't know if y'all can hear that. I still got contractors out here. I'm getting my property right. I've been neglecting it for too long. Getting it right. But yeah, I want to, so this video, one of the major takeaways, there's two major takeaways from this video. Cypher is a tool. And if you use it like I did in Vegas, yeah, you're going to come out on top. But it takes you employing a process of elimination that makes sense for whatever it is you're measuring. At the time, I was measuring NBA. And NBA got really critical toward the end of the season because they started playing every effing day. So I had to stop Cole from going back to 5, 4, and 3 games in the back histories. And when one basketball team was measured 5 games, the last 5 times they won was entered in Cypher against the last 5 times that the other team won was entered in Cypher. That was really good for the beginning of the season and the middle of the season. But toward the end of the season, those bastards were playing every single day. And teams that were really good were winning every single game. There's nothing to measure. It just becomes a clusterfuck. So Cole and I, for expedience and to remove the noise, dropped it to 2 games, and the level of accuracy increased. When we dropped it to just the 2 last games, each team won. Enter them into Cypher, and if it's a 0, a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, if they decide, eliminate that from consideration. Eliminate it. You have to create, for whatever it is you're measuring, you need to create some type of process of elimination that gives, when you're using Cypher, now it gives you advantage. So this is what I did, and I'm going to do it some more. And I'm really eager to see how this NBA is going to unfold as well. But that is a major takeaway from this video. The other major takeaway is that something that we've been neglecting, and I think it's buried in the SOP, in the PDFs, or in the PDF notes for Opus, but it might have been overlooked. But the other takeaway is that Protocol Prime is a one-time thing for every prediction, because once Once you're induced to add another date to your list of dates, the prior protocol prime date is no longer extant. It doesn't exist for you anymore. You're not doing another prediction on a past date. You're doing another prediction on today's date. So today becomes the new protocol prime. Those are the two major takeaways from this video. Yeah, I got power equipment on. I don't think y'all can hear it. Can you? Yeah, underground's gonna be fun. Underground's gonna be fun. I think I'm gonna charge $2.76 a subscription, but it's got stuff that Archaics TV would never have because there's nowhere to put it. I got hundreds of audio files, podcasts I've done on other channels, and just regular audio files. You don't have to watch the video, listen to audio files. But the audio files, the intros and outros have been eliminated, so you just get to the core shit. So there's all kinds of stuff, and plus we're doing different rooms, different chat rooms. Yeah, also news from all over the world, errants all over, plus the personals board where errants can meet each other in their own communities. They can post what they do. If you have a service, if you have a business, if you have a product, yeah, errant personals is probably going to take off. Also, YouTube's been fucking with a lot of my older videos because they want to put commercials on them, so they keep finding all kinds of little copyright nuances. It's pissing me off. So I'm thinking about taking 200 or 300 badass videos off of YouTube and putting them on Archaics Underground. So yeah, we've been busy. Tomorrow on YouTube, you will see the new commercial. That's why I filmed it this morning. I had to go. I had to drive all the way to Big John's and then Cheryl's, and then me, Big John, and Cheryl. We did a commercial showing how we make T-shirts. We don't buy the T-shirt designs from vendors anymore. Now we custom make all of them. We fit the size of the patterns you guys want. We're going to show it in a commercial. It's going to be short, but it's badass. I'm going to upload it to YouTube either tonight or tomorrow. Yeah, I've already been talking to the admins, the owners of the platform. Yeah. Apparently, they're really excited about Archaics migrating to their platform, because at first they were just kind of ignoring me, and then they sent a questionnaire about, well, what kind of community do you have? What are your expectations? What are your links so we can verify that you have a community and all this, and what is it that your community requires? So I checked all the boxes. I need to live stream. I need to be able to upload videos. I need to do live streams for members only. I need to have unlimited area space for more videos I'm going to import. I need to be able to have chat rooms that I can designate that this is for tiny hats. We're going to talk about tiny hats here. We're going to talk about grifters and all kinds of shit here. We're going to talk about we immortals. We're going to talk about creating our own reality here. We're going to talk about news clips from all over the world that you guys are finding. And I need my participants. I even put it on there. My members must be able to chat interactively with each other and with me. They must be able to upload videos that they want us to see, share videos. They must be able to video clips, GIFs, memes, images, links, all that. So I checked it all. And they told me straight up. They looked me up. They looked up Archaics on YouTube, and they got back with me fast. And they were like singing a whole nother tune now. They're like, oh yeah, we would love to have your community here. And absolutely, our platform can host all these activities. Everything you got on this list, we can do here. Pops is better. Yeah, Pops is better. He's good. He got surgery on his teeth. He's doing good. All right, guys, it's been over 2 hours, and like I said, this is a normal routine now. Until we have perfected this system, until we have wrapped it around every measurable thing that we can do right now, and all throughout NFL, we will be going live just like this in PSYFR at least once a week, sometimes twice a week. So y'all get used to it. Because I have already cleared my schedule. And I will see you guys later.